bank in the morning. Lord, I'm showing the mechanism and how brittle and fragile the mechanism is, that the entire mechanism which they have followed.
Wait, just give us the facts.
Yes.
Give us the...
Now, in the morning, they say 8:15, the center in charge of the examination will reach the bank to collect the paper. What has actually happened, which is the documents on record, taking example of Dayal School, Bahadurgarh, Jhajjar, Hardayal School, Bahadurgarh, Jhajjar, the principal of the center goes to both the banks, collect papers from both the banks, distributes the paper taken from Canara Bank. Paper taken from Canara Bank is allowed to be attempted for all 3 hours and 20 minutes. And then they say that we over and above, because on 4th of April, they did not declare any other key except the key for SBI bank question paper. When it appeared that from this Hardayal School Jhajjar, there are 6 candidates who get number 1, 100% marks, 720 out of 720. 2 candidates get 719 and 718. So it came out that how come from this center 8 people comes within first 69 and this number is not possible. NTA came out with a theory that no, we have given a grace marks because there is a delay. I have seen the video of the principal of this Hardayal school, which says, and it is openable even now, which says that there was no delay in this center. In fact, we distributed Canara Bank paper when it was already half an hour.
The correct set was to be the SBI paper.
Correct. That's right. That's right. And they declared entire country.
It's not every
entire country.
Entire country was SBI. Yes, yeah. Your Lordship, sir.
Of course, different configurations, as Brother Mishra said, because the questions will be jumbled up.
Yeah. Even in the one classroom.
Yeah. Obviously.
In one classroom also.
Sitting next to each other can't know which is the order.
Which is the order. But one of the things which is going on in the social media is that 2 numbers sitting with each other, both got 600 marks. How is it possible? But both would have, the system is that both sitting in front and back and both sitting on the sides, they have different numbers.
Not have the same order of questions.
They don't have. My question number 1 would be his question number 18.
Do that in the judicial.
So we can't even do that. Orthodox way of cheating also is not possible.
Place the hard facts, how they have done it. So Hardayal School, admittedly, they distributed Canara Bank. The Canara Bank question paper was attempted by all the about 500 people in the center.
How long?
For till 5:20 is the last time.
Oh.
There's no delay. The principal is on record of the school and they say...
So it's not that in the middle of the exam they substitute the SBI.
No, that happened Savai Madhopur. I'll come to that. Hardayal School, Canara Bank paper was given. In the first instance, when Canara Bank paper was not to be the paper to be attempted, how come it was even given to them? What is the SOP? How meticulously they followed it, what they say is. And the principal got question paper from both the banks and both banks gave it.
Mr. Solicitor, just since a little bit of query on the procedural. One set is lodged with Can Bank, one is with SBI. Now, the center in charge on the morning of the exam goes to both the banks and takes the question. Then
the city in charge is informed that this is the bank from where you will have to collect the paper.
When is he informed the day of the exam?
In the morning at 7 o'clock.
So the city in charge will inform all the centers in charge in the morning that you have to go to this particular
center.
Now, how did this chap at Jhajjar go and collect it from Canara Bank when he must have been told that you have to go to the SBI to collect the paper?
No, that may be a mistake or something. Or deliberate, but paper was...
Now Jhajjar, we just wanted some clarity on Jhajjar. So he collects the paper from the Canara Bank.
Correct, my lord.
Students write, throughout the 3 hours and 20 minutes, they write the Canara Bank sets of questions, right? Now, thereafter, what happens in Jhajjar? Everybody is given grace marks, or what happens in Jhajjar?
What they say is, because they never disclose key for Canara Bank paper.
1 second, let's have clarity. We just ask questions.
Yeah, my lord, my learned can.
Let's...
Just 1 second. He has his instructions. Let's get the official version first. About Jhajjar,
Yes, Neet.
what happened exactly in Jhajjar?
It's, Jhajjar was a new center. Your lordships are aware the number of candidates have increased. As a result whereof we have to increase the number of centers also and city coordinators also. This place was added for the first time in 2024 as an examination center. Perhaps the city coordinator must not have seen the message that you have to pick it up from this place. As a result whereof this happened to be picked up from both the places.
But are the banks not informed that, look, don't release the Can Bank paper to anybody, release only the State Bank of India paper?
Let's
Because the vault in charge has to be informed कि आपको paper surrender करना है आज, आपको distribute करना है.
authorization is given,
Because the NTA would inform the city in charge.
yes,
City in charge will relay the message to the center in charge.
yes,
But will a message not go to the bank also that, all right, Can Bank का आपको अपने लॉकर में ही रखना है, स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया का जो पेपर है वो आपको डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करना है.
It goes to the bank. We also committed. It
It will
goes to the bank.
definitely go to the bank also. So how did this bloke at Jhajjar, the center in charge, how did he go to Canara Bank and retrieve the Canara Bank paper?
that is a mistake on their part,
Who's Canara Bank's mistake?
both
Both,
at
both
both
one of the
places,
position.
city coordinator.
So
as well.
anyway, so the Jhajjar in charge gets the center in charge gets the Canara Bank paper.
Yes,
That is distributed to the candidates, and the candidates write the entire exam for 3 hours 20 minutes on the Can Bank paper.
lordship. And this is at 8 centers. The number of such candidates who got Canara Bank paper is 3,307, and their sequence is MNOP, and we have used the
So at Jhajjar, how many there are 8 centers,
8 centers
and everywhere they
all over India.
All over India, not.
All over India, it has happened at 8 centers.
all over India.
All over India. Some places, like Chhattisgarh, your lordships came to know.
With the wrong question paper.
Yes,
was
Millet.
listed.
Not
Both
confined to
question
Jhajjar.
papers, my lord, are of the same difficulty level. It's not as if one is
So at
simpler
each
and another.
center- At 8 centers, the wrong booklet was distributed.
Yes,
Which was the Can Bank booklet.
yes, Millet. Only two booklets are available, Millet. There is the third.
Then what happened in Jhajjar? Then the students wrote the whole of the paper for
Yes,
3 hours 20 minutes of
Yes,
Jhajjar.
because of the situation, Millet, that it could not be discovered by them that we have distributed a wrong paper. It came to the knowledge much later. As a result whereof it was considered,
Then
More
what happened?
appropriate.
Then what happened?
it was considered more appropriate to allow them to attempt this question paper only.
First they give
But
grace
one
mark.
second, we are just understanding what happened. So the students are allowed, they appeared for the entire examination in the,
Yes, on the basis of Canara Bank question paper.
then
And the difficulty level of this question, both the papers, because anyone can be distributed, are modulated by the experts to be of the same level.
now, where was the occasion to give totally how many students at these 8 centers?
8 centers, total number of students is 3,307.
Now, initially NTA takes a decision to award grace marks to those students.
No, it's only after it came to be realized that some places the loss of time was there. Only then the decision was taken.
Loss of time means what?
After realizing, when the complaints are there, students approach the honorable courts also saying that because of wrong distribution of paper, we could not avail the exact number of exact time which is available to the others.
Why? Because students had appeared for the full 3 hours, 20 minutes. It is not. It is not as if that the correct paper was circulated midway through the exam. Suppose sometimes what happens is that the incorrect paper is given. Instead of algebra, you give the English paper. By the time the algebra paper comes, half an hour has gone by. Students were never given the SBI paper at these 8 centers. They were given only the CanBank paper.
At Jhajjar, this happened. At some places, this was withdrawn and correct paper was also given. There are centers where this happened,
Now,
like in Chhattisgarh.
Now, how many centers was
Just
the
verify, my lord,
at how many centers was the incorrect question paper withdrawn?
NTA.
I am appearing for NT also. I am appearing for both.
Kaushik, at how many centers? At how many centers was the incorrect question paper withdrawn?
Withdrawn
The
and
correct
correct
Exactly.
paper.
My lord, that's all. My lord, in some question, in some centers, even after realizing that instead of Canara, SBI is given, or
they continue to write.
they continue to write, and 3 hours, 20 minutes time allotted was given. So we are not concerned with that. In some cases,
They withdrew that.
they withdrew it halfway and said that now we are giving you another, because
How many centers did that happen?
that figure is, my lord, 1, 3.
I'll come to Savai Madhopur, my lord. That's
This
a
is an
separate-
isolation.
Consideration, my lord, 13th of the June, my lord, they come up with how they make up of Savai Madhopur. They stand to escalate to 1563 as per their own figure.
My lord, I'll come to all that, my lord. If they can respond to.
63 students were such that we, as per our examination, that they were, the papers were taken back halfway and they were asked to complete the new paper within that 320 minutes.
My lord, where they
Since
attempted
that could
only
not
Canara
happen.
Bank. My lord, halfway, this is a different story. My lord, halfway is a different story. First is the Canara Bank.
At 8 centers, we found that wrong booklet was distributed. Now, at all these 8 centers, the students complete the examination.
Canara Bank.
At 8 centers, we found that wrong booklet was distributed. Now, at all these 8 centers, the students complete the examination only in the Canara Bank booklet.
Yes, how many?
Canara Bank only minutes.
We'll
8
give out the
centers.
This
list.
is,
8 centers, right?
this we will further bifurcate.
Now, tell us, how many centers apart from these 8 was the wrong booklet withdrawn and the correct
Yes,
booklet given to the
we
students?
will give the correct number of that also.
Yeah, just ask.
We'll bifurcate. Yes, please.
Just you can sit down and ask, no problem.
But if in the meantime, I can.
Just 1 second, let them. We'll also have a little break for 10 seconds.
कुछ निकल रहा है
But in Jhajjar, when I received the instructions. Judger has 3 centers.
Yes.
In one, the entire Canara paper was attempted and nobody disturbed the students thereafter. In remaining 2, realizing the mistake, the paper was taken back halfway and new paper was given. And therefore, they said that we did not get sufficient time, which was true.
Right. Now, why were the grace marks added then?
Initially, my lord, it was decided, which according to me, my lord, was not a very correct decision, that there is some judgment of your lordships in case of a
That's that.
null's clat, my lord, that if there is a time problem, if time is less, time available to the student is less, then this is the methodology by which you give the grace marks. That grace marks were given. Thereafter, my lord, that decision was,
Was recalled in a retest was it?
yes, that was those who did not get the time will get a new paper and new 3 hour 20 minutes.
Now, that retest was held for 1563 students.
Yes.
Now, these 1563 students were drawn from which centers? Actually?
My lord, wherever there was a time gap.
Page 19 of file by Ranma.
Retest is held, that really now, that really
But
doesn't provide.
there are 2-3 things into it. One,
Grace.
why grace marks to the students who attempted Canara Bank paper? Why grace marks?
So they
On
were-
4th of June, they were granted, my lord, on 4th of June, they declared only one key. That is the SBI Bank question paper key. There was no Canara Bank paper key.
Hold on,
So
1 second.
how they evaluated those people without declaring a key?
Now this grace mark was given initially to whom?
Grace mark was given to the center numbers, which we have given the time number also, which is 1.
Was the grace mark given to only those who had to give, who got the SBI paper in the midstream, or what happened?
The grace marks were given only to those persons from whom the paper was initially given, which was withdrawn, and subsequently given the correct paper.
Correct.
What happened?
That
to
is
this?
all. In some,
Now, what happened to those students who appeared in the wrong paper, the Can Bank paper?
their marks were given on the basis of the answer key of their sequence paper.
And they were not made to have the retest?
No, millets, no.
Because the level of
Actually,
difficulty is up.
yeah,
Fair
same,
enough, fair
same.
enough. Now, so therefore, the grace marks were given only to those whose papers were withdrawn and given the
Yes,
correct,
millet,
because they couldn't complete the
which
paper,
we counted as 1563.
which you counted as 153.
Based upon reports of city coordinators and CCTV footage.
This was not available.
There were 8 centers across the country where the wrong booklet was distributed.
Yes, millets, and
Now those 8 centers includes the 3 judges?
one of them at Jajjar.
Two of them.
No, wrong distribution is
Two of them.
Third was
wrong
100%
distribution and
Canara Bank.
two at Jajjar.
to a judge,
Yes, minutes.
where the wrong booklet was distributed and then recalled.
Recalled and grace mark was given to those candidates.
Now, in the 8 centers across India, the same position that the center, the papers were withdrawn.
Given time was not sufficient and therefore grace mark.
But the
Out
number
of
is
4,750 centers, this occurred, my lord, in 8 centers.
Oh, I see.
4,750 are the total number of centers throughout the country.
So 8, it happened that the wrong booklet was
It's a
given.
wrong booklet, my lord. Whenever, for example, Judger, out of 3, 1, they completed. They were not,
They have not been given a detail, they are being
Yes.
graded. So 1.
they are evaluated based on their answers, my lord.
It's actually incorrect. Let me clarify it. And then the senior colleague gave 3,300 are the total student where the wrong booklet was given, withdrawn midway.
No, no, no.
And
Allowed to continue 3,000.
Yes.
Minutes, they are
3,307.
3,000
300.
were allowed to continue, 3,300
They were
wrong paper. They attempted the wrong question paper.
Okay.
150, yes.
Now, my lord, the next question comes is, on 4th of June, when they declared the result, on their website, they declared only one key. One key means only
SBI.
SPI.
SBI.
They didn't declare any other key. How they evaluated Canara Bank questions which was attempted and where is the separate result they declared for this 3,000 people who attempted Canara Bank paper?
Must have had a key for Canada Bank also.
There is no key declared by them, my lord, till today. Let them show it today now.
Today.
No, not, my lord. 1, 2.
All right, now I'll tell you what, this is all okay. Now show us the data. Let's go into the hard.
Let me complete, my lord. Now, in this Hardyal school, where originally there were 8 people who came,
At the end of it, assuming that some
Lord,
problem happened.
data
that
is
there
a
is something
circumstantial
happened.
evidence.
We are looking at the entire country now. Show us the data.
Lord,
I mean, that's the heart of the matter.
Lord, I will just allow me 2 minutes, Lord, because this,
You said 2 minutes, 11:35. We are not.
Lord, in the meantime, they start, Lord. Let me just quickly complete it. I was dealing with Hardyal school, Lord. Allow me to just to complete 2-3 centers and then I'll straight away come to the data. Hardyal school, 500 students, they attempted Canara Bank paper. Just notice in, Lord, and let them respond at the end.
All right, we'll just Hardyal School.
500
Judger, no?
That's right, Bahadurgarh Jhajjar.
Yes.
Canara Bank paper, no Canara Bank paper key available till date. After re-examination, this all the students were taken in the re-examination. Though there was no delay, admittedly, in distributing question paper.
So all the students at this Hardyal
Hardyal
school
school.
have been required to do a re-examination.
And in the re-examination, about 50% of them appeared, 50% of them did not appear.
That's also very spooky. Why do 50% not appear?
That's right. Only 813 out of 1,563 in total appeared in the re-examination. That's also data. My lord.
The person who didn't appear got their original marks, opted to retain their original marks. That is the.
Now these 1563 are drawn from how many centers?
Lord, this they have not disclosed. They never disclose it, how many centers. They will answer it.
8 centers.
8
Throughout. And as my learned friend rightly pointed out, they were given an option to retain the earlier marks.
And
They
all
didn't
is,
take a
Lord,
chance. That
and
was,
all is being done behind the curtain. Nothing was declared. Every day they have been giving press release, but with regard to this, there is not a single press release.
things which, if you can ask, if you can just make a note of these 4 points, Mr. Solicitor and Mr. Kaushik.
Yes.
One, how many centers, at how many centers were the Canara Bank papers distributed? At how many centers totally were Canara Bank question booklets distributed? 2. Out of those centers, at how many centers were the correct question booklets replaced?
Yes, miss.
At how many centers were the correct question booklets replaced, namely of the State Bank of India?
Yes, miss.
Third, how many centers totally where the questions which were evaluated were the Canara Bank paper, the Canara Bank booklets?
Yes.
Whether there were any centers which were evaluated on the basis of the Canara Bank booklet.
Yes.
All right.
How paper was evaluated?
The paper was evaluated. And fourth, once the Canara Bank papers were evaluated, how did the candidates fare there?
There is the key which they have
performance.
ever declared till date. Canara Bank.
Why
paper.
have you not declared the key of the Canara Bank papers?
Yes, miss.
Fifth,
Yes, miss.
and finally, I want to know this, that before I formulate a question, suppose you and I go to Canara Bank or to State Bank of India and say, give me the question paper. You will not be given the question paper, right?
Correct.
How does Can Bank know that I'm the right person who is authorized to? So there has to be a letter of authorization,
Correct.
It's identity.
right?
Yes.
Now, who issues the letter of authorization?
Yes, miss.
Letter of authorization is issued by the district in charge.
NT.
Director General NT.
Director General of NTA.
NTA to the city superintendent as well as centers coordinators.
Now, what does a person take to the bank? Suppose I'm the center in charge.
Yes. miss.
Will I have an authorization both for SBI and for Can Bank, or I'll have only one authorization? Just ask that.
Yes, miss.
City coordinator is authorized. I'm sorry. Only city coordinator is authorized, not centers. He
So the
distributes.
city
to-
coordinator is authorized to go to one of the two banks.
Yes.
Now, therefore, that authorization is given to the city coordinator when? When is that given to him?
In advance. Must be-
But is the authorization given for both the banks or only one bank?
I think should be for
Just
both
ask
banks
this side.
logically. For both the banks. Any, from which bank? It is given, authorization is given 3 days prior to the exam
For both the banks.
for both the banks. Then
The
he is
city
informed-
coordinator.
He is informed in the morning that you go to one of these banks and collect.
5 o'clock.
Now, if the city coordinator, suppose city coordinator was told in the morning of the 5th that you have to go to SBI, right? Now, that city coordinator would have all the centers in that city will be under his control, right? Now, did the city coordinator in this case at Jhajjar go to the Can Bank and get Can Bank papers which were then distributed to all the centers in his jurisdiction, or some centers got SBI and some centers got
That will have to be.
Collected both.
Actually, will correct. it.
Collected both.
he collected both.
Collected both.
How did the city coordinator collect both? I mean, city coordinator at Jhajjar, he should have gone only to SBI,
Only one bank.
right?
Yes. miss.
Now, he went to Can Bank and he went to SBI both. Now, all the centers under him, did he distribute the Can Bank question paper?
Let's one center Can Bank paper was distributed, which was allowed to be continued. 2 centers The question paper was distributed Can Bank, but it was withdrawn and SBI was given, that resulting in loss of time.
All Can banks distributed, two of them realized the mistake,
And
withdrew
Who
Can Bank
realized the mistake?
yes,
out of the center coordinator.
No, but the center coordinator will,
Would not normally know, we'll take
center
the.
superintendents are different. City coordinator is for all the three centers.
right. So at Jhajjar, there were 3 centers,
Yes, please.
right? So he distributed the Can Bank paper to all 3?
All three initially. And let's in from 2, it was withdrawn and correct question paper was
But
distributed.
then why did he not withdraw it from 1?
That will have to, let's ask.
If he realized that he has made a mistake, he would have gone to all the 3 centers and said, look, I better give you the correct center. Why did he get-
Time lapse may be the only reason. It was realized at the other center. By that time, maybe the time gap had gone beyond
Take
the
instructions.
reasonable time.
take instructions on that?
That's an assumption.
Yes, yes. We will take specific instructions. We'll prepare a note on all these 6 questions, minutes, and
You're right. Authorization will be given in advance. You can't give authorization in the morning. Then he's informed how? He's informed on his phone.
on what the minutes app, which is created for the purpose of
And
coordination.
who informs him?
There is an
The
NTA app.
Director General NTA will
NTA
inform everyone across the country.
Yes, through the specific app created for this purpose of
That will be informed at 8 o'clock or so in the morning,
5 o'clock in the morning.
5 o'clock.
There is an
And
application.
he was informed, go to the SBI.
Yes, please.
He went to both.
Yes.
But is Can Bank not informed that, look, your paper now don't distribute? Director General NTA would be informing the Can Bank that, look, your paper is not to be distributed. And he would inform SBI that only your paper is to be distributed, right?
Message goes to both the custodian as well as the city coordinator.
Then how did Can
Where the
Bank
lapse has
distribute? Then
taken-
how did Can Bank
Yes.
distribute it?
Where the lapse has taken place, we'll find out minutes and
There appears to be a lapse.
Right.
yes, that lapse is there.
Lord, there is another blunder. Hardayal school, in the first instance, despite the Canara Bank paper was given, allowed to be attempted, they gave grace marks to the students who appeared in the Hardayal school. And because of grace marks, 2 of the 8 students who came in the first
So
couple.
Hardayal school, where the Can Bank paper was distributed,
Yes,
students were given grace.
they gave grace marks.
Why?
And the evidence of grace marks is, out of the 2 students in the first 8 from the Hardayal school, they got 718 and 719 marks. When we questioned that how come anybody get this marks, they say it is because of grace marks, otherwise it's not possible.
So grace marks were given in Hardayal school.
Even for Hardayal school, because on 4th of June, there was only 1 key.
So grace marks were given totally for 1563 students, right?
That's right. For all students, Lord, I believe.
No, not schools.
Lord, thereafter, all these students were put in a re-examination. How, if Canara Bank paper was given and it was to be evaluated, where is the question of first giving them grace marks and then withdrawing the grace marks and putting them to again a retest?
It was a mistake which was corrected and retest. Now
Lord,
it's.
how they give a
let's
grace
argue
to
for
Canara
retest
Bank
of the entire country
students?
based
Let
on
them answer
two
this.
Why did you give grace marks to the Canara Bank students?
No, it was not given to the
Whenever they were,
1 second.
whenever Canara
Who
paper
got
was,
the grace mark? Which body of students got the grace marks?
wherever Canara Bank's paper, the wrong paper, I'll use it, wrong paper, was initially given, taken back, and a new paper was given,
Grace marks.
resulting into the time not being available, grace marks were given.
So do we understand you right? That grace marks were not given to those students who had appeared for the Canara Bank booklet, but who had completed the entire booklet.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
They were not given.
No, not.
So grace marks were given to only those students to whom a wrong
Page
booklet was given and it was withdrawn. Is
Yes.
that right? Is that clarity?
Immediate, yes.
Lord, I will falsify the stand just now. Their response to my note at page 19, they have reproduced a table where grace marks have been given. In that table, the center 230701 Haryana Jhajjar Hardayal School, they say their grace marks have been given. Please check it. This is what they have filed before this honorable court.
And 287.
Well,
Also.
And 287.
Hardayal school is a situation where the students attempted only the Can Bank paper.
Correct. And they
But did any student at Hardayal school get grace marks?
got a grace marks. Lord. So this is how they have
One
conducted.
second. Mr. Kaushik,
Yes, please.
did students at Hardayal school also get grace marks?
This is what it is.
I'll take specific
Just
clarification.
find out.
It's a systemic failure.
Rework कैसे किया उसको?
Even only for Hardayal school, not the other two schools. Let them.
For the reason, I'll clarify.
Only in Hardayal school grace marks. are given.
Grace marks were given where?
Grace marks were given only to Hardayal school.
Yes.
Just it's not, they are trying to misrepresent facts without knowing the clear picture.
That's why we are absolutely with an open mind. We want you to disclose. I mean,
Yes,
that's.
Which I am instructed to say suffered loss of time despite the fact that they attempted Canara Bank question paper.
Why don't you do this in the afternoon? Just give us on a piece of paper the correct position and
Yes.
give them a copy so we understand
Correct.
where we stand.
I'll
So we are
prepare
not
a
just
note.
taking down
Let-
something they are saying, something they are
Let
saying. We
let
don't
them,
want to- we
let
don't
them
want-
correctly
So I'll-
understand it.
One second. Let him say, let him say,
Yes,
clarify.
a neat
But you
note.
put it down on one sheet of paper by the
Yeah,
afternoon, so
yes.
we'll then take it as a statement.
Correct.
Because then I don't want later on,
No, no.
applications that you record it
ma'am.
wrongly.
There may be in the haste, there may be some confusion because they are jumping on.
So Hardayal school grace marks were given.
Yes, the other
Grace marks were given only in Hardayal school? or-
only in Hardayal minutes. Because I am told the reason is that in the other schools, grace period, that is time of loss, was compensated by the center itself. Extra time was given to them, as a result whereof they did not suffer any loss of time.
No, but tell us something. In
Individual
Hardayal
situations-
school, the paper was replaced with the correct paper later on?
I am told that both the papers happened to be given. After the confusion, the SBI paper was withdrawn and Canara Bank paper was allowed to be continued.
That's a fact.
In Hardayal school?
Yes, that is
So
what
that means in Hardayal school, all students wrote the Can Bank paper. right?
Be firm, put
Yes.
it on a piece of paper
Yes,
so that
yes.
there is a
A
response.
piece of paper.
Not just to,
Yes,
just to,
And
Manoj,
all students wrote the Can Bank paper at Hardayal school. Why were they given grace marks?
what we will do is, we will prepare the city wise where this happened and center wise. Why the different
Give
treatment?
it to us in the
Yeah,
afternoon. We
we
want
will
to
do.
understand.
Yes,
only one thing, Manoj, just to put
we'll
were papers replaced and under whose orders were the papers continued?
Yes.
Was NTA monitoring this from Delhi or what happened?
It is monitored from Delhi millets and millets communication. Did
So
not,
did Delhi get to know in the morning that, look, the wrong paper has been disputed at the
what
end?
time it came to the knowledge and how, what time the communication,
Tell us.
because millets, large number of centers.
Right. You tell us in the
Eight,
after.
not large number.
Now, Mr. Huda, you have to wrap up.
Center
fast.
But in fact,
coordination
I'm not
communication.
allowed to proceed by the other side.
Lord, only one thing,
I
Manoj,
was
just
on
to put
Hardayal
things
school.
in
There are
perspective.
20 questions on Hardayal school itself.
Manoj,
They have
only,
made 4
only a
statements with
minute,
regard.
only a
Let,
minute.
let me show. Manoj,
Only
just
a minute. Lord, my learned friend is arguing that the entire country's examination is vitiated and
Correct.
therefore there should be a retest.
That's
My Lord, giving examples of some mistakes
No,
here or
that's a
there out
systemic failure,
of
my lord.
4,570 may not, my Lord, serve his purpose of assisting them.
I'm saying there is a systemic failure, and I'm sequentially demonstrate that how the
You
system
don't come out
was so
from Jajjar
brittle
yet. You
and
come out
fragile,
Jajjar, then
which
Haryana,
was
then go to
tweaked
India.
at the whims and fancies of these invigilators and city center operators who are private individuals, got nothing to do with the government. With regard to Jajjar, I'm just closing Jajjar. I want to say, in the first response, they said Hardayal school Canara paper was given. They attempted Canara paper. They evaluated Canara paper. No grace marks were given. This is their stand just now. They have changed it right now. With regard to the other 2 centers, they say there was a loss of time, and that is why grace marks were given. Just now they said it. Now they have again said it with regard to those 2 centers. No grace marks were given. Extra time was given then and there. Who took the decision? My lords have rightly asked the question. Now, with regard to Hardayal school, just two fact I want to bring to my lord's notice. A student who got 719 marks in Hardayal school with grace marks, they were given re-examination along with this 1563. The same student had earlier the rank was 68 with 719 marks out of 720. Now the rank is 58,413. With regard to the student who got 718 in the same Hardayal school, where the rank was 69, after re-examination, the rank is 38,497. Now they do not know whether Canara Bank was given or initially SBI was given. On 4th of June, they declare one result, that is SBI result. There is no separate key. They did not even disclose on 4th of June that there was loss of time. And that loss of time we have compensated with grace marks. This they had to come out with only when they were confronted with 719 marks and 718 marks, because this is not numerically possible with the number of marks and negative marking. Then they said, now, in the entire country, what they do is, this NTA has collected about 400 crore rupees from the students. Thereafter, I give example of Seeker now, which is data-wise very important. Seeker has 49 centers in all. Out of 49 center, only one center is this Kendriya Vidyalaya. Rest 48 centers are all private school, self-financed private schools. All their city coordinator, invigilators, superintendent are all private individuals whom NTA issue checks of 2,000 rupees a day or 2,500 or 1,500 rupees. Now, because this honorable court is kind enough to allow me to argue this case, because so many people have come to assist me. They've shown me photographs of the school, private school in a village where this exam is being conducted. It doesn't even have a boundary wall. Now, I have not gone through their entire process. I will not call it as a SOP. Now, that indicates that at 5:20, the paper is collected by the invigilator. And the OMR sheet is taken. OMR sheet is taken. Now, what is the time when this OMR sheet is to be sealed? It's nowhere prescribed. It remains in the center. We have spoken even to the center vigilators. 2-3 hours, it keep lying in every center with the center superintendent. And then they have to deposit it somewhere where all the OMR sheets are collected, like for seeker. There is one place where OMR sheets are ultimately collected in one center. There is no procedure NTA prescribed that 5:20 this OMR sheet is collected, then 5:30 it should be sealed in the presence of the students. Because my lord, they have trained these invigilators across the country.
Then what time do they get deposited with the centralized deposit?
There is no time given, my lord. Let them file a specific affidavit if they ever in black and white.
How soon after the examination concludes at 5:50?
Blood, it is-
the sealing process taking place?
Blood, they say that it is 8:30 to 9 o'clock. Ultimately, it gets deposited with the city center.
But before
what
that,
time
when
is
does the
the-
sealing takes place?
Blood, this I could not find in their entire SOP. I have placed it before this
Right,
all.
that's the point.
So, blood, I would say, I will show the data.
Now, Mr. Huda, please go to the
Blood,
data.
I'm coming to the data, blood.
Please come to it.
Yes. Now, my lord, after analyzing the data, what we find, there are certain centers which are doing exceedingly well. It's not the students, that the centers are doing exceedingly well. Like, my lord, Kota and Seeker both have almost equal number of students appearing. Mismatch also.
Yes.
Look, the data I wanted to show after giving this background, that after 5:20, there is a lot of time and leeway.
Got your point. You did not.
And
repeat the note.
because look, Kota and Seeker had equal number of students appearing. If we calculate look, first top centers in the country, getting students having more than 650 rank, I'm sorry, marks, then 38 center out of 49 center are only from Seeker.
Student getting over 650 marks.
That's right.
38.
38 out of 50.
What is 50?
50 top centers blood in the entire country.
Where's more than 650 marks?
That's right. If 650 is taken as a cutoff and we evaluate that what are the top 50 center in the country.
Where even one student gets more than 650.
That's right. So all students put together getting more than 650 are from Seeker out of 50.
38 out of 50
Correct.
are from
Seeker. Seeker alone. 38 centers, my lord. And 6 centers, my lord, adjoining to Rajasthan, which falls in Haryana. That's a Mahendragarh, Bhiwani. Rewari, Mahendragarh, Bhiwani. And now, my lord, may kindly see this. There are two factors.
what I've taken down is that Kota and Seeker centers had broadly equal number of students appearing. Students getting more than 650 marks.
Yes,
across the
let me straight away show those charts, my lord.
38 out of 50 are from Seeker alone, 6 in Mahendragarh, Rewari and Bhiwani.
Correct, lord.
Now show us the chart.
Yes, my lord. My lord, may kindly permit me to refer to my second supplementary note.
You have just given today, no?
Yes, my lord, which was filed, my lord.
Page.
My lord, first annexure, page 13 is their SOP, which I said that there is no time given for sealing after OMR is collected. Then, my lord, the data of top 50 centers, my lord, that is page 101, annexure C. But before that, my lord, allow me to show one more chart at page 100 for a moment, my lord. This again, they have to answer it, my lord, if they can answer it post lunch. The difference in the data declared on 4th of June and 20th of July, page 100, my lord, may kindly see this table. My lord, just see Bihar.
Just one second.
Page 100. my lord. That's right. Mismatch in the result published on 4th of June 2014 and 20th of July 2024. 4th of June 24 and 20th of July 24.
Yes.
Look, just see Bihar at serial number 4. As per 4th of June, registered were 1,54,000, appeared 1,49,000 something, qualified 74,743. Now the data on 20th of July. Appeared student 1,36,000. The difference is 13,000.
Right.
And my lord, this difference is appearing almost everywhere. And we will respond to that after they respond to it.
4th of June and 20th July, the number of students comes down.
Correct.
Appeared students.
That's right. My lord, Rajasthan, my lord, may kindly see specifically Rajasthan also for this.
There is something plus also like Tamil Nadu. There,
Yes, yes, yes,
Rajasthan is plus 18,000.
yes. Now, my lord, what happens? My lord, let me explain it. Let me, my lord, explain it for a moment. What happens is, in their system, if I am resident of Rohtak, Haryana, if I fill up an address of Tamil Nadu, I want to go to Sikar. I can simply fill up my address, some address of Sikar, and they will treat me as a student of Sikar. And I will get a center somewhere in Sikar. People have gone from Godhra, Gujarat to Karnataka, Belgaum. One incident is a girl who got 705 marks on 4th of June. She got failed in 12th class and she's getting 31 out of 100 chemistry and so on and so forth. People have traveled from Odisha, Karnataka to Godhra. And Lord, with regard to this, one professor wrote an email which I have placed on record a month before, that this is a scam happening.
How many students had, would we know what their original place is? and
Lord,
the
what
center?
happens is they do not connect it with Aadhaar card or any proof of residence. They open their system. They say you fill up the address of your residence, whatever you feel like, and we will treat it to be your residence address, and we will allocate you center as per the address you give it here. Absolutely no system in place to verify that.
So, are you contending? Suppose I am a student, I am ordinarily residing in Delhi. When I fill up my form online, I can choose a center, say in Sikar, or I can fill out a center in somewhere in Tamil Nadu or Kerala. Any?
But I am free to give whatever address I want.
Showing us by showing some residence over there.
Not even showing, filling it up. Just I need to type it.
At
And
what point of time do they verify whether you are actually a resident of that?
at no stage, Lord, may kindly note it.
A student can choose a center in any part of the country.
Any part of the country.
And you don't have to submit any document?
Absolutely no proof, my lord. And there is an email, if I can straight away invite my lord kind attention to that email for a moment. Professor email.
It's not a change of center, but choice of center.
Choice of page 190 of my lord. This my lord may kindly permit me to
writing an email that there is a scam.
no.
All right, so Mr. Solicitor, just tell us this later on when your turn comes.
Yes.
Argument is that a student can choose a center of their liking anywhere in the country by saying, I reside there.
Yes, sir.
Does the student at any point of time of the registration process have to produce any documentary material to indicate that they are residents of that place?
I'll
like an
answer
Aadhaar
that.
card?
I'll answer that. But when I
whatever.
give the figures of seeker, he's taking on seeker, I'll be able to justify the success rate has gone down, but we'll be able to show that. Now, let me come to my place. Look, I can't go
How
by.
does it work when a center is sought by a student? Student applies for a center or city when you submit an application for it?
City.
Now,
Center
when a
is not.
student applies for a city, Does NTA require the student to upload any document?
Just followed inquire and Malot.
Absolutely.
Or does that student just choose a city anywhere in the country?
Correct.
Let them verify.
Correct. Lord, I just want to point out an email, like Lord would remember, Kaka College had written them with regard to Godhra a month earlier. They did not act on it. In their reply, they say now they have marked this college Kaka email to some competent authority to look into it. Now, with regard to this, allow me, my lord, to refer to this email at page 190.
Was the data? You passed that already day before yesterday.
My lord,
That was
yes,
you know, you can
yes, my lord,
cross-
I'm coming back. My lord, I'm already on the tables, my lord.
It was
My lord, I'm already on the tables. My lord,
that. Read a PhD thesis.
my lord, may kindly see.
Part of the-
Yes. My lord, I was page 100. My lord, I'm showing this data. I was at page 100 to demonstrate.
Ultimately, up to now, we have dealt with Hazaribagh, we have dealt with Patna, we have dealt with,
This all
Bhagwata.
will demonstrate.
No, my lord,
Yeah,
give me
my
some
submission
time.
is-
My friend has taken a long, I have no quarrel. I have to attend some other matter. I'll be grateful. I will only take 10 minutes.
That is between you and-
That I am 10 minutes. My lord,
Allow me-
my
allow me-
lord, if you go by seniority, I am 66, I am senior. But we have followed a different rule. I have no quarrel.
No.
I have no quarrel.
I every
Yes.
standard, Mr.
No, Mr. Tushar Mehta, you're only 59. Junior to me in bar and age. Yes. Please don't insult seniors. But my lord, I only take 10 minutes.
Second, any group matter, one person leads.
No,
the
my lord, I
call.
only take 10 minutes, my lord.
We are also. we
No,
are-
because I
it's-
believe that he is,
Second, Mr. Nedumbara, it would be wrong to say that he has taken time. We are also.
no, I'm not blaming anybody, my lord. I am only requesting 10 minutes to be given to me.
Next time.
Then my lord, relieve me. That's all. 10 minutes to me.
Certainly.
10 minutes to me, my lord, if I can, before lunch, my lord, I have another matter to be, I'm taking adjournment after adjournment, Madras High Court, I want to appear online.
All right.
So 10 minutes.
I was page 100, the table, just to demonstrate the mismatch. And this is for them to explain that how the number of candidates who appeared in a particular state has gone down from the result declared on 4th of June to the result declared on 20th of July. Then, my lord, at page 101, annexure C is the list of top 50 centers, which indicates, my lord, that how these centers are concentrated in Sikar.
Result of heart, this is very important. Just
Ye-
one second.
yes,
Let's go closely on this. Yes.
Lord, I have given the center code, number of student appeared, how many students above 700, then the percentage of 700 plus, above 650, percentage of above 650, above 600, percentage of above 600, and then above 550. I have gone only up to above 550. Now, this will show a concentration.
Where?
The concentration here is, my lord, primarily Sikar. My lord, may kindly see this. Rajkot, there is one station at Rajkot, my lord, where the total number of students is 1968. Center code, where 12 students above 700. 115 above 615. There is something special with Rajkot, this center code. That's fine. That will Seeker after Rajkot. 1,000 students, 8 are above 700.
9 or above?
And then, my lord, I'm on next item, a Seeker Rajasthan. Out of 1,001 student appearing, 8 above 700, then 69 above 650, and 115 above 600. And then 241 above 550. And Lord, also kindly keep it in mind, city coordinators are the owners of these schools, and these are private schools. And the invigilators are the employees of these private schools. And the possibility cannot be ruled out that these teachers are not in league with the coaching centers, my lord, which are operating in Kota and Sikar.
Are what? Are the city coordinators are government employees or they
No,
private
They
employees?
are principals of the particular school which is.
Private
the
schools,
center.
my lord.
Sorry,
Principal of the school where the center is located,
Private schools.
city coordinators.
city coordinator.
Yes, ma'am.
So it
Center
would be a
coordinator.
city coordinator.
It's completely privatized.
Principal of CBSE school is the city coordinator.
No, there is in Sikar, there is no CBSE school. There is only one, this Kendriya Mahavidyalaya. 48 are the private schools, my lord. And CBSE affiliated, not CBSE run.
They are all CBSE schools.
CBSE affiliated school.
But they are CBSE affiliated schools, not CBSE run schools.
Top 50, you are saying that there is a concentration of seekers.
Correct, my lord. Kindly see this table, my lord. It shows all Sikar. 38 of them, my lord. Not a coincidence, my lord. And I'm sure, my lord, consistently, even the last year also,
Seeker.
these, my lord, even last year also and last to last year also, this seeker must be doing well for the reason. Because all these private schools, my lord, they are together, CBSE affiliated or Rajasthan board affiliated. Now, one of them is a city coordinator. Rest are the invigilator. And my lord,
But tell us, Mr. Huda, assuming that is so, I mean, can that be one, a ground to cancel the entirety of the exam all over the country? Or two, to cancel the exam for seeker as a
no, my
whole?
lord, what I say, I bow down.
Then we show a retest for
My
seeker.
lord,
Can
what
we-
I humbly submit is,
sufficient?
വായപ്പുണ്ണിന് രാജ്യം മുഴുവൻ ഒരേ ഒരു പേര് ഓറാസോ. ഇതിന്റെ ജെൽ വായപ്പുണ്ണിന്റെ വേദനയ്ക്ക് 2 മിനിറ്റിൽ ആശ്വാസം നൽകുന്നു. ടാബ്ലറ്റ് വായപ്പുണ്ണിനെ വേരോടെ അകറ്റുന്നു. ഓറാസോ വായപ്പുണ്ണിനുള്ള കംപ്ലീറ്റ് പരിഹാരം.
I will follow you wherever you may go. And where you
Words only.
yes, my lord, it's there. My lord.
Less than 10.
15 दे दिया. Give 3. This is my lord 100, 500 and above. This is not with regard to. Huh.
It's about this percentage. You're, Mr. Hegde, above what?
6 people per 1,000, that's 0.6%, is on an average, that's the national, that should be the reference value. Now, if if your lordship takes the first one in Rajasthan, or see the Vidya Bharati Public School, let us see how many of them have gotten. So above 550, which gets you a state, there are 241 students who have got above 550
Out of 1,000.
out of 1,000 students. 1 in 4 students.
Lord, this is alluding towards systemic failure. And all these people are not from Seeker. They have come from all over the country. They are not people who have taken coaching from Seeker.
How do you
Because of this systemic
how do you
failure.
say that they have not taken coaching from?
I
Don't
do
make
not,
such-
I do not know,
I mean,
because if I
then you
compare it,
Not, no, don't make
hold on,
statements.
please. If I compare it with Kota is the coaching
Quota
hub.
and seeker are education
And Lord,
hubs.
yes,
People from
now,
students from
and
all
the
over
number
the
of
country
students appeared
stay
in
there. There are
Kota.
hostels,
Where
PG
is the- where is the-
accommodations.
where is the-
It's a coaching cluster. So don't say that they are not from. They are not.
Belgavi, my lord, in Karnataka is not a coaching hub where a girl goes from Anjali Patel, goes from Gujarat to Belgavi. She fails, she appears in 12th class standard in Gujarat because she's from Gujarat. She failed, but she went all the way to Belgavi, got 705 marks. And Lord, what I'm told is the CBSE syllabus of 12th is completely in align with the syllabus of NEET examination. So it's not possible somebody getting 31 in botany out of 100 and getting 700.
Have you shown data from that center in Belgavi where she appeared? Were the people getting high marks unusually large at that center?
Lord, there are.
Not too much show us.
Lord, I will. If I will show all these tables in seriatim, Lord, I will show that. So, Lord, this table at 101 indicates there is a heavy tilt for seeker because there is a systemic malaise which has worked in favor of the students appearing in these centers in seeker. And we cannot separate the tainted from the untainted. And all these private people, the person who is doing videography, I give just one example here. Their emphasis is that we videograph everything at all these centers. Though they are private people, in Savai Madhopur, may I have Lord's attention just for a moment? Their emphasis is that though all these are private people, all these city coordinators, invigilators, but our CCTV monitoring is so robust that we catch them. In case of Savai Madhopur, it is their own case that a wrong question paper was distributed in a different language. And the question paper started at 2 p.m. They got to know, this is on record, and their reply on record to say that we got to know that wrong question paper has been given in Savai Madhopur, Rajasthan at 4:30 from the social media. They are on affidavit to say this. If
How do you establish, we made this point about seeker, etc. How do you establish that the paper leak, according to you, has spread all over the country? What is the material for you to
Lord,
indicate?
on that, Lord, I'm on a second point now. So far as paper leak is concerned,
Part
on-
of this
on-
case is the paper leak, right?
not only that, Lord, my very predominant argument besides paper leak is their systems are so fragile, which are being consistently compromised because everybody is private. They are issuing just checks in the name of some videographer sitting in Delhi, some coordinator in the city who are the owners of the private school and the principals. They have absolutely no
Then
check.
tell us one thing. We'll ask you something frankly. Are you challenging the result of this NEET, or are you appearing for people who don't want the NEET at all?
No, Lord.
No,
What I'm pointing out that this NTA, the way it is holding this examination can't be sustained for the reason that there is absolutely no system in place. Lord, as I was pointing out, just allow me a moment on here.
It would be also far-fetched to say that there is.
Lord, let me show you. Lord,
We have loopholes, we will address them. We are
but
going to
Lord, the
ask them.
loopholes are being exploited on the face of it. The data is being shown.
Oh, you have to show us that there is a systemic destruction of the sanctity of the exam.
Lord, on that,
Across India.
one thing, Lord,
Now you have basically concentrated on Hazaribagh, you have concentrated on Patna, you have shown us some examples
But I
from
have shown-
Bahadurgarh, what happened in Bahadurgarh.
let me,
Now
let
you
me,
are seeing
Lord,
one
quickly.
student from
what is
Gujarat goes to Belgavi and gets
Lord,
associate
what is
space.
the
Where have you demonstrated before us a
systemic
systemic
failure?
place?
Lord, what is this systemic failure and what is the malaise in this system which they have adopted for this examination? If I count them, Lord, quickly, one is the time gap after the OMR sheets are taken and the time being deposited. It is in the private hands where there is no time fixed for sealing it, and in whose presence these OMR sheets are being sealed. I'm alluding toward a systemic failure that, Lord, here in Sikar, Mahendragarh, wherever this concentration is happening, the OMR sheets are being consistently tampered with after the exam is over. Lord, as is being suggested by the government of India, that the question paper could be sold in 1 hour and in another hour, the students could do it. In the same manner, after taking the OMR sheet at 5:20, the entire staff in the college, which is a private school and all private invigilators, they have the question paper with them. And they have 2-3 hours with them. What prevents them from filling up the OMR sheets and then depositing it with the city center? So it is this loophole which is being exploited here in Sikar and all these centers, Lord, which are a shining star in the entire sky. Belgavi, Lord, why a girl who failed in Gujarat goes all the way to Belgavi? Lord, the reason is this, not only paper leak. Lord, I'm on a next point.
Now tell us that girl who went to Belgavi, all right, we'll take it as a prima facie suspicious case.
Yes, sir.
The center where she appeared from,
Yes.
what is the performance of that center?
Yes, Lord, I have that.
6%
Huh?
success ratio and 7% success ratio. And Belgaum,
Lord,
2% success
Lord,
rate.
about
I
8
chose those
people
figures.
are, Lord, Belgavi is not a coaching center. Lord, the one reason,
not a
Lord,
coaching
the third thing I want to allude to,
Centers in Sikar, how many centers in Sikar?
Sikar is 49 centers.
How many students in Sikar?
Yes, the total number of, yes, Lord, we have the data. Huh? 27,000. Lord, this is, just allow me, Lord. Total number is 27,216.
Students.
That's right, Lord. 49 centers. Lord, it is at page 10.
27,216 students from Sikar.
That's right.
How many students, what is the cutoff to be in the first 1,08,000?
About
If
580.
your lordships can give me only 5 minutes to show my charts. Lord, that
Lord,
might answer most of your lordships'
Lord,
questions.
I'm
Rather than my
I'm-
lord going all
Lord,
around.
I'm on a complete, Lord, just allow me to
All
complete.
right, 27,216 students. Just tell us. just tell
8,000
us
of them
what-
have got above 500.
How many?
8,225 have got above 500.
Yes, Lord. Lord, this is the
None of
data
them
at
will
page
get it.
103. Lord, this note, this data is there at page 103. Lord, may kindly just see this.
Now tell us, Mr. Solicitor, what would be the cutoff for broadly for the 1,08,000, the last
yes,
student
yes.
to be in the zone of admission to a medical college?
Yes.
What would be the cutoff?
Varies from state
The
to state.
cutoff is not different.
Varies from state to state. But
No, no.
if you've got above around 600, you're reasonably safe that you will get something.
No, my learned friend is,
It will vary from state to state because state domicile comes in.
I'll just, I have put that figure also. If you are having marked 600, you will stand at 81,000 in first 81,000. I have given Malot each wise 60, 600, 605, etc. I'll show Malot. So a person getting 600 will in all probability will not get in at least government medical college for the simple reason that though we are counting 50%, total seats are 1,08,000, 50% would be Malot one half, but from that 50%, 50% will go for SC, ST, OBC and EWS reservation. So merit candidates seats would be available would be 25,000. I have not given, we have done the analysis from various angles to show what is the impact, if at all, at the national level, city level and the center level.
Does Sikar have the largest concentration of students? Sikar has 49 centers.
Yes. Seeker center-wise also we have done.
And
But
is
quota, let me
there
compare it with quota.
district in the country which has more centers than Sikar, which is in the country-wise.
I'll not do that.
Can you tell us which is the district which has the largest number of centers?
Lord, quota, Lord, I'm just giving quota as
But-
comparing
but, Lord,
because
what
Lord,
we have
quota
analyzed
is
is,
coaching hub.
only a minute. What we have analyzed is city-wise, including seeker, quota, and other things which are being discussed. We have examined how many students appeared in 2022 and what was the success rate. Similar exercise for 23 and similar exercise for 24. In fact, 24 for seeker, the success rate has gone down. I'll be able to show that one. We have
But-
compared it with
Lord,
22,
I am
23, 24. It
Lord,
is
I'm not-
around 19%.
Lord, if they can
The success
respond
rate is
in one
19%.
go and I
Yeah.
complete it. Lord, what I'm alluding to is there is a systemic failure in the manner the NEET is examined. One, I said the no address verification, that is why student can go from
There are two ways of looking at this problem. You all came here because of paper leak. There's no escape from the fact that, yes, there has been a
paper leak.
paper leak. Is it your argument that the systemic failure which you are talking about now led to paper leak?
No.
So therefore, today we are trying to understand, we are trying to look into to what extent this leak precipitated in the entire country. If it is a case of systemic failure, that stands on a different footing
Yes.
because these are two different things. It is because of this paper leak, you are now able to demonstrate before us various irregularities, illegalities. Maybe, you may be right. But at this point of time, digressing from the issue of paper leak, to what extent can we now go into the question of systemic failure? Because we are trying to examine whether this leak led to that girl securing 705 marks at Belaguri despite failing in 12th standard. Let us address the issue in this manner, whether these candidates at Sikar who have performed exceedingly well, is it because of that paper leak?
I bow down.
There are two-
I quite
two
understand.
compartments.
These are two compartments.
There are two
far
compartments.
as
One
paper leak is
talks
concerned.
about paper leak and to what extent the students took advantage of that leak.
Let me answer your lordship's question.
Please take your seat, Mr. Nedumbara. These are bad manners, bad manners. I am not very sophisticated like my Lord, the Chief Justice. You may feel bad. Please. 3 times I have said, please, quiet. We have 2 minutes to go. We are making Mr. Huda understand what is going on in our mind so that he can respond after recess. Therefore, you come to your note.
Please.
You come to your note, paragraph 8.
Yes, my lord. They know,
That's the heart. That's the heart of your case.
Where you say that
Just
there's a
read
leak
Just
has gone to other states. Where is there to, what is there any contemporary evidence to indicate that the leak went to
Not-
other states?
Lord, the only thing on that I can say on paper leak is, Lord, so far as direct evidence of this crime is concerned, that is the file is before this honorable court, matter is being investigated. As petitioners who are not privy to the investigation, either by the Bihar police or now by the CBI, all we can rely on is a circumstantial evidence. In the circumstantial evidence,
Therefore, falling back on an alternative hypothesis that because of the systemic flaws in the process, therefore the credibility of the examination must have been breached in other
I'm
states.
so grateful.
That's your case.
So
That's
your
my
case.
case. On that,
So
Lord, I have
therefore
just
says
4 or
that
5
we have
things to
no
highlight.
evidence. We do not have evidence to show that there was a leak in other states. But because of these flaws in the examination process, therefore it's likely that the
This
sanctity of
inflation.
examination, and you have pointed out 3 aspects: time gap between the conclusion of the examination and the sealing of the OMR sheets, and absence of an SOP. 2, staff at the college may well tamper with the OMR sheets without depositing them. 3, there is no address verification of the center chosen by the student.
That's
These
right.
are the 3 aspects.
That's right. Now, Lord, and
Anything else now? What remains? for you?
because of,
We'll have to call upon the others. now.
yes, I'm so grateful. And Lord, it is because of this that there is an evidence, and they maybe put to the question this, that how people from Gujarat going to Bellevue, how people from Odisha, Karnataka, Maharashtra coming to Godhra, and how people from Bihar, if this investigation is carried out, my lord, would find people from Bihar have gone to Muktsar, Punjab. If these addresses are checked, that will show
But
that
then
there are.
This girl, instead of going to Belaguri, could have given to any of these sensitive.
She could have chosen, Lord, probably this is a connection. She
That's
got
why-
a connection.
Why did she have to
I
go
asked
to
you, that center at Belgavi, does it have any, does it show any untoward result?
Lord, it is there. Lord, this Belgavi, this is 8R plus 700 and 71R plus 650. I have not the chart. I will give it up post lunch.
Also, Mr. Oda, in many professional examinations, I don't want to name them, otherwise this will become another national story tomorrow. That, in many professional examinations, students do choose centers in a particular zone or whatever, because there's a perception that the marking on the curve is a little more lenient or a little more strict in certain centers. And you not mention those examinations. That may be,
Lord,
that may not
here-
be, that may
Lord,
not be
here the-
strong evidence to cancel the whole examination per se.
Lord, this one.
These systemic flaws which you have pointed out, we'll put to the solicitor, because these obviously have to be tightened up. Because they have to be tightened up. But as of now, I don't think you have indicated to us, and we'll give you now 5 minutes and we'll conclude your argument after lunch. So we'll hear the others and then wrap up.
5 minutes after lunch.
After lunch, 5 minutes. So
grateful.
that you can conclude, now summarize what you
That's
have
right.
argued in 5 minutes, and then we will go on to the
Great.
next person.
Your lordships will
Great.
give me a little time. A little time, not much.
Sorry?
Your lordships will give me a little time, not much.
And they've also got marks and changing of the answers.
There are several things I-
Anybody who now wants to follow will have to give something over and above what has been argued.
Please.
Mr. Oda has taken up
Please,
the entire
please.
record now.
But after lunch, your lordship give me 10, 15 minutes, then I'll relieve me, my lord.
I
I wanted to say something which is not,
might even take. lunch.
something which they haven't said.
We'll come back.
Your lordships, may I please mention items 12 and 35?